Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Preeti and I am your host today. I would like to start this webinar with a brief introduction of WellG. So, WellG is the recipient of 50 Best Wellness Companies Award at Global Listing by World Health and Wellness Congress. This award has been given to us for innovation in the space of health and wellness coaching for improved health outcome and well-being. WellG is India's leading health and wellness coaching partner. We are the first ever institute, that is, WellG is the first ever institute in India who is offering health and wellness coaching with an international certificate. It brings together international expertise and recognition from California Institute of Untitled Studies, USA. Today, we are presenting this webinar on health and wellness coaching certification, which will be presented by Ms. Preeti Rao. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. So if you have any question during the presentation, please type your question on the chat box, which is on the right side of your screen. Or we will also open the floor for question and answer after the presentation, and I'll read it out to you at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Ms. Preeti Rao with a brief introduction. So she is founder and CEO of WellG. She is internationally renowned health and wellness coach and consultant. She is Asia's only international consortium for health and wellness coaches, that is ICHWC mentor coach, who is mentoring others in the space of health and wellness profession. She is one and only international committee member of National Wellness Institute, who is representing India with 9 other global members worldwide, recognizing her as a global leader. If I talk about her experience, she has an extensive 25 plus years of experience in the space of international and national health and wellness industry. Her past association includes UCSF Center for Integrative Medicine, which is one of the largest and most reputed medicine center in the world. Aetna USA, which is one of the largest insurance company in the world. Charlotte Maxwell Complementary Clinic or Cancer Center in California, USA. Bertelsen Institute, USA, and Max Super Specialty Hospital in multiple locations. She is also former Reebok Fitness brand ambassador. She is qualified personal trainer by Aerobics and Fitness Association of America and a certified yoga teacher by the Shivananda School of Yoga. Her authored articles regularly get published in some of the leading magazines like Asia Spa, Cosmopolitan, Business World, to name a few. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Rao to share some highlights on health and wellness space and our award-winning curriculum.
Started very, very young when I was only about 16 years old. And that's when I was picked up by Reebok as a Reebok Fitness brand ambassador. And it took me about, almost another 20, 25 years to figure out what my true calling in life was. It was at the tender age of 21. I was sitting at the riverbed in Trivandrum and thinking about profound questions like, who am I? What's my calling in life? What makes me happy? Why was I really born? And at that eminent moment in my meditation practice, time and time and again, I went back to the space when I would work with people as a fitness trainer and their lives were getting transformed. And I knew I wanted to do something in the space of health and wellness. I just didn't know how to go about it. And at that time, I'm talking about 25 years ago, the health and wellness industry was very, very nascent in India. It has expanded dramatically, and you didn't see a lot of women trainers at that time. Just in my college, I was making about 50,000-60,000 rupees a month, and I was teaching 1,000 classes a year. So, I come from the physical space of wellness, and with over so many years of experience in the industry and with my master's in integrative health, with a specialization in health and wellness coaching and wellness program creation. And because I've had the opportunity to live in America for 10 years, to live in Europe, and to live in various parts of the world and work in wellness organizations and very prestigious health organizations, I've had the opportunity to look at wellness and health from beyond the physical dimension. Today, world over, when we're looking at wellness, we cannot really look at calorie counting. We cannot just look at Body Beautiful. We cannot just look at how many steps have you walked. wellness has really transformed significantly. In fact, today when we're looking at wellness, we're talking about the 6 or 8 dimensions of wellness. We talk about the physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, occupational well-being, relational well-being, social well-being, intellectual and mental well-being, relational well-being, if I haven't said that before, environmental well-being. So they basically, the industry so far internationally is focusing on 6 or 8 dimensions of wellness. So after my master's in America and having had the opportunity to work with some of these very prestigious integrative medicine centers internationally, I had this vision for India. I wanted to come back and actually bring health and wellness coaching to India. When I came back to India, I started off initially as a practitioner. I was a health and wellness coach. Believe me or not, within the first 7 days of my practice, I was picked up by Max Hospitals. In fact, the GM of Max Hospitals came to the center and she experienced wellness coaching and she had such aha moments. And she said, you know what, I have never experienced something like this ever in my life before. I have been going from one practitioner to another, to one dietitian to another, to one trainer to another, but I haven't experienced such a special way of being approached as a client where the entire focus was on me, on my life, my obstacle, my resources, what is the root cause of my problem, and why am I in this stuckness in my life when it comes to compared to when she was thinking about optimum wellness and health and weight loss for herself. And interestingly, within the first coaching session, she said, you know, Preeti, we want you to come on board, come and join our hospital. And this is how my journey in the health and wellness coaching space started off in a leading hospital here in India. And when she and I were talking, she said, Preeti, we were looking for a certified health and wellness coach in the country for the last 5 years. Can you believe it? They said they couldn't find anybody for the last 5 years. And when they got me on board, they had to take special permissions across all departments within the hospitals to get me on board. And here I was sitting in a leading hospital coaching clients in preventive care. I was coaching clients in the cardiologists in the cardiovascular department. And I started beginning to think, oh my God, India really, and I kind of knew this, but it kind of became even more real to me. And I was like, my God, India really needs health and wellness coaching because we as a country are beyond lifestyle disease epidemic. We're the world's largest, we're the world's capital for diabetes, for God's sake. 60% of all, I believe, all death in the future due to heart disease is going to arise out of India. That's where we stand. And let's look at lifestyle diseases. 70 to 80% of all lifestyle diseases actually stem out of lifestyle behaviors, are habits that we may have formulated for the last 5, 10, 15, or 20 years. And it's not easy to change habits unless you're coached on it. So the profoundness, the fire in my belly, the resonance with what I wanted to do became really, really strong. And that's how Welgi came into existence. And we're a young company, you know, we're only about 20 months old, and look at the significant accomplishment we've had in the last 20 months. We've got the 50 Best Wellness Company Award. It's a global list. It's not only list, it's a global list. And I'm very humbled that I have been nominated with such great prestigious nominations worldwide. In fact, just recently about last month, I was invited to the National Wellness Conference in America to represent India. So the scope of the industry for all of you guys who are thinking about creating a career in health and wellness, for all of you guys who think that health and wellness is a passion in your life, for those guys who think, working with other people and helping them to improve their health gives them inner happiness and gives them inner satisfaction. When they go to bed, they feel they've done a good day's work. This profession is for those people. A number of great things about this profession is also the fact that you don't have to be from a clinical background, right? You don't have to be from a science background. You don't have to come from a clinical background. You could be anybody in this space, as long as you have an aptitude and the wisdom to understand a graduate level curriculum, right? So that's the beauty. Anybody can become a health and wellness coach. And who is your target audience? Everybody. Everybody needs health and wellness coaching, because look around yourself. Everybody has a burning desire or a burning goal that they want to work on. Before I go on further into talking a little bit more about the curriculum, I also wanted to share very humbly and proudly as well that within the last 20 months, WellG has grown at the rate of 38%. And we are likely to grow at the rate of anywhere between 100 and 125% this year. That itself tells you the growth. From a single person as an entrepreneur, from a single person as a practitioner, I now run a company. That is the trajectory I have had within 24 months. So that is an opportunity that lays in front of you. The folks that are going to join this industry earlier on are going to obviously have a leading edge. The kind of people who in the past done the program with us have been mothers, have been teachers, have been leading gynecologists, leading doctors. In fact, in our last certification, we have 45% of doctors enrolling in the program. I was shocked. And I was shocked and pleasantly surprised, because truly doctors are realizing lifestyle intervention it's a skill they ought to acquire, because people no longer want to go to conventional approaches. People don't want to go to unnecessary surgical interventions. Nobody likes to take medicine anymore. Everybody likes to take accountability for their health. So in all, the industry is robust, it's growing in ripples, but is going to experience exponential growth in the next few years. Let's look at some industry statistics. If you look at statistics that are put together by Bureau of Labor America, it talks about health and wellness coaching growing at the rate of 31% annually. That is unheard of. Talk about any other industry growing at that rate year by year by year. Subsequently, if you look at the trend study by American College of Sports Medicine, if you guys are from the fitness industry, you know this brand. In their study, and I believe it was 2015, 2016, and just about a year ago, health and wellness coaching was, 2015, 16, the rating as for health and wellness coaching is as the most emerging healthcare profession. The rating was 17 a year before that. In 15, 16, we stood at 13. Within a year, it went up 4 ranking, right? That is the growth trajectory in this industry. And as we're looking at wellness internationally, if you've not read this book, it's called The Unconventional Medicine by Chris Kressler, I believe. And he talks about the new healthcare pyramid that the whole industry is talking about. And I'll tell you a little bit more about this healthcare pyramid. The new healthcare pyramid, if this is a pyramid, right, like this, if this is a pyramid, the top layer of the pyramid constitutes of 5% of the population. The middle tier of the pyramid constitutes of 20% of the population. And the bottom pyramid consists of the 70% of the population. Now, what does this new healthcare pyramid really symbolize? What it says is that the first 5% that is in the healthcare pyramid is for people who need acute care. These are people who need hospitalization. These are people who need surgical intervention. They definitely need to be taken care of by specialists, by doctors, by nurses. They need to be in a hospital setting. Now, the next segment of 20% of the population belongs to those people who are fairly healthy but have some health concerns, so therefore would need a doctor's intervention, but can also get help from nutritionists, fitness trainers, and other health and wellness practitioners and health and wellness coaches. The bottom 70%, which is the biggest pyramid, the biggest section of the pyramid, states that the majority of the population today is suffering from lifestyle diseases would actually, what is very interesting, it says is that we no longer need too many specialists. What we need is generalists. And when I say that, I mean that when you call generalists are people who are able to work with a larger population and are able to help them make lifestyle changes around nutrition, exercise, stress, emotional well-being, and mental well-being, and occupational well-being, because all of these factors affect our health. We can no longer look at disease from the physical dimension. There are so many things. If there are certain Reiki practitioners here or alternative medicine practitioners here, they would agree with me. So this segment of the population is what needs health and wellness coaching in the future. And therein lies the biggest opportunity for professions who want to enter this space. And now is a great time to enter. Interestingly, when I actually came to India 5 years ago, I was the first certified, I think I was the first certified health and wellness coach in the country. I didn't have any model to look at. I didn't have anybody to emulate. I didn't have anybody to get inspired from. There was nothing. Today, WellG is creating the wellness coaching industry. We are creating awareness around it. We are creating talent pool around it. Right? So let me just move on. I hope this has kind of built efficacy around health and wellness coaching. And more importantly, recent research has talked about that the health and wellness coaching approach the result rates 1,000 times better than conventional approach when we tell clients what to do and don't handhold them in the process of change. So before I move on to the curriculum, let me share a little bit more about really what is health and wellness coaching and who is a health and wellness coach. In simple words, a health and wellness coach is somebody who's trained on the science of behavioral change. He understands the neuroscience of behavioral change. He is aware of various coaching methodologies. Health and wellness coach is somebody who understands that the coaching relationship between the client and the coachee is a client-centric approach. It's all about the client. It's not about the coach. In a conventional approach, the doctor tells you what to do or the nutritionist tells you what to do, but look at what really happens. How many people actually follow that wonderful instructions or guidance that doctors and other practitioners provide? More likely, most people don't land up implementing them in their lives. So the challenge is not in the information. Information is freely available on Google Baba. you know. But the challenge is implementation of that information in our life in a manner that is applicable to me as an individual and as per my lifestyle and my abilities. So the coach is an individual looking at all the dimensions that I've been talking about, the 6-8 dimensions of wellness, and is able to coach them in a manner that the client comes across and tells them how they would like to proceed further. The client creates the goal. The client creates their homework. The client creates their action plans. The coach helps them to understand their skills, abilities, helps them to understand the underlying root cause of their disease or underlying root cause of their health and wellness concerns. The coach helps them to tap into their inner resources. The coach helps them to overcome obstacles that they may be facing, right? And the coach helps them in the process of maintenance. For example, if the client has achieved their results, then the coach helps them to maintain it and then also helps them in relapse. So a coach is somebody who is educated on the coaching psychology and is aware of the coaching process from the whole person approach. A coach is somebody who can really empower the client to become the best versions of themselves. So that's in layman language what really a coach does. He or she handholds the client through the process of change. And in the coaching space, a typical relationship between the coach and the coachee is for a minimum 90 days. Because research and recent studies have talked about that making change is difficult. To change habits is hard, and it takes about a minimum 60 to 90 days to formulate one new habit. And it takes about a year for that habit to become a sustainable lifestyle. And even after that, people may relapse. So as a health and wellness coach, you can coach people, not only, you're not looking at nutrition from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, but you're looking at the interconnectiveness of their relationship with food, for example. Why do people eat the way they eat, right? Interestingly, I kind of share this story a lot of times. One of my recent clients, I coached her, very prominent, extremely successful woman in your career space. She was struggling to lose weight for the last 20 years. And in the coaching process, this is what came up. And she said, Preeti, oh my God, I think the reason why I eat is because I'm an unhappy woman. I am not the woman I wanted to be. I don't know how to practice self-care. So these are profound insights the client can find out. So no matter how many diets you may give them, they're not going to be successful unless you realize the underlying root cause of their relationship with food, right? So that's what a coach does. Takes them through a process of change and handholds them through maintenance and relapse. Typically, coaches would work with the clients almost for a year as well, okay? So unlike in conventional approaches, when a client would go to maybe a doctor or any other profession, it is an episode-based, event-based meeting, right? You go to a doctor when you're sick, when you're unwell, and you probably don't go to a doctor until you fall sick again. But the coach is somebody you have a longer relationship with. And it's very, very satisfying as a profession. Now, I would like to come, since we're short of time, I would love to talk about coaching all day because it's such an passion in my life. So, and I obviously am going to open the floor for questions later. I want to talk a little bit more about our curriculum. As I kind of mentioned, when I came to India, I soon realized there was a lack of talent pool in India in the health and wellness space, specifically in the health and wellness coaching and the need for the industry. And that's where WellG Institute came into being. That's where this institute was born out of, this passion to create talent in this space.